And here we go. Welcome back to another Digital Adele Hoops Beyond the Backboard podcast for you with my co-host Matt Hanifan. How are you doing today, Matt?
It's snowing. So
What?
I'm not doing great. I don't like snow. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not a snow guy.
Yeah,
But
me
I'm
neither.
doing
That's
good.
why I
It
left
thankfully it's
Pennsylvania.
not sticking. So like I can still I was like driving in it not too long before I hopped on. So like that was
Yeah,
okay. That wasn't that bad. But just snow in general, like I just this time of year I'm just like, nah, I'm good. It's like
right.
30 degrees outside and it's cold and I'm just like, no.
No, man. I mean that is interesting. I mean, it is November. I don't expect that out west, but for it to be, back east where I'm from in Pennsylvania, I expect that sort of thing. Um, so is that normal for this time of year, or is that a surprise to you?
In the Sierra, like, cause I mean, I know, like, when I say I live in Nevada, most people think of like a desert. I live right next to the Sierras, so like mountains, and yes, this is quite normal.
Okay, so you have higher elevation, which will allow for the weather to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I'm
And
at, God, I always forget the elevation. I'm about like 4,500 feet,
okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Not super high, not super low. I get it.
something like that.
But yeah, yeah, cool, man. Well, I wanted to talk today a little pro basketball, and then we'll talk college basketball real quick. I know the title of the stream is the 2026 NBA Draft Prospect Update, which we will update you. But I have some 2025 NBA prospects I want to talk about. There's a few things that were said. I'll start with the first one. The first one that was said by an NBA player was Donovan Mitchell was asked about Trey Johnson. And he said, "What was it like playing, against Trey Johnson? What did you think of him?" And I'm paraphrasing. This is not a quote, but the paraphrase, Donovan Mitchell basically said, it didn't feel like I was playing against a rookie. He just knows how to get to his spots. He made some really tough shots, not stuff rookies typically do. And the reason why I bring that up is the Wizards are committing player development malpractice, in my opinion. They stick Trey Johnson the majority of the time in a corner, and not like in a good way. He basically stands there out of the play. Middleton does his midi post up stuff and all that garbage. He'll pick and roll sometime with Sar. Cam Whitmore, when the second unit gets in, runs the second unit. Let that sink in. Cam Whitmore, primary ball handler and initiator on the second unit. Guy who doesn't pass well, doesn't see the floor well, will turn the ball over a lot, takes really bad shots, also makes really bad shots, while Trey Johnson stands in a corner. And like down the stretch of that game, he had a really nice run to like jumpstart the Wizards to make it competitive. Trey Johnson did when they started giving him usage. And that's only for like 16 minutes out of the game that he's on the floor. And out of those 16 minutes, they give him usage like 5 minutes at a time of the time. I think it's player development malpractice. What do you think about the words from Donovan Mitchell? And what do you think about what's happening with Trey Johnson?
I mean, I would like for Trey to get more usage. You and I have talked about this off air. I just kind of predicted this would happen heading into the season. I do
You
trust
did.
Washington's developmental track record. Like they do have a good recent developmental track record with some of these guys, and so I would even though I disagree with some of what they're doing, they still are running him off of like screens and like these kind of actions, and he's like,
It's very rare
convert.
they do that, though.
They do it
Usually it's
a
McCollum.
decent amount.
Dude, usually it's McCollum. I understand the Keyshawn George usage. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
Like nobody could have predicted how fast he developed and how well he's developed. It's been
Yeah.
kind of remarkable, his development. But Middleton gets way too much usage. McCollum's still playing at a high level, so I get that. But Cam Whitmore's getting more usage than Trey Johnson. Bub Carrington, he actually isn't playing as much as he usually does. But then
Yeah.
even Corey Kispert's taken away from Trey Johnson coming off those screens and actions. I'm telling you, go back and watch a lot of those Wizards games. Majority of the time, he's just standing in a corner.
I mean, no, he is doing that. I just think that like they'll sprinkle in like him coming off like
They
a
do.
stagger screen or him coming off a pin down or something like that to get him moving a little bit.
Right.
Um, and I think as the season goes on, that'll continue to progress.
Hopefully it does. What did you think about Donovan Mitchell's comments that I
I mean, it
just
makes sense. I mean,
paraphrased?
he knows how to get to his spots. We've known this about Trey
We have.
for a
We
while. Like
have.
it's not much of a surprise.
But to hear it to come from a vet like that, I think that's
Yeah,
always good validation for our analysis.
yeah,
Also, it's good that for Trey Johnson himself, that his peers are recognizing that he doesn't operate like your typical rookie on the court.
yeah.
Which leads me to another player who doesn't operate like a typical rookie on the court. And we've talked about him ad nauseum on this channel, ad nauseum, AD, for most people who aren't aware of that. Um, I don't know why I felt like stressing that, but anyway, I did. And that's Colin Knippel. Colin Knippel does not play like a rookie, and we kind of knew that as well if you've followed this channel. But recently, it's been brought to my attention in the Reddit forums. People are talking about how Colin Knippel, he's better than they thought. And all these comparisons to Corey Kispert and Joe Harris, can't believe people made those comparisons. We've been saying that for almost a year. Like forever long the process took to evaluate him, we've been saying that. What are your thoughts on Colin Knippel and his number one ranking for Rookie of the Year so far? I mean, 15 games through the season.
As high as I was on Con, I didn't expect him to play this well out of the gate.
It's been
like,
unbelievable.
I don't think anyone did. Like what was it last night? 28-7.
It's been unbelievable.
8-7.
Yeah.
He's
His efficiency numbers.
Just a wrecking ball lately.
Right.
He's been phenomenal in every possible way. I'm trying to like pull up his stats as I talk, but he's doing everything that we obviously thought he would at the NBA level, but he's doing it and then some. Like it feels like he's upped his level of him doing it. Like the shooting's obviously, been phenomenal, shooting 40% from three on like high volume. 47% from the floor. He's what is he averaging? 18, 6, and 3 right now, but it feels better than that because of how well he's played in this most recent stretch.
Absolutely.
Here I'm pulling up these numbers right now.
Yeah, and so I have some numbers for you. So one of the things that I wanted to point out is that, as far as his field goal percentage on assisted, his field goal, his advanced shooting metrics are insane. Like they're really, really good. His effective field goal percentage is 59.5. He's shooting 40%, 40.3% from three. His 2-point percentage is 58, which makes sense with his effective field goal percentage. His free throw shooting has been outstanding. I mean, he's just been unbelievable all across the board in all of those metrics.
And like, again, it's so much of we're not even just talking about the shooting. It's the secondary playmaking.
Right.
Again, he's been better defensively than I think most people expected. And we were kind of saying that pre-draft, the rebounding, the offensive rebounding, the extra efforts, and just how comfortable he looks with the ball in his hands already. Like that's something that I didn't expect. Was like, okay, I knew he could do, the secondary ball handling, the secondary playmaking. Like obviously we saw in the ACC tournament after Coop went down, like how good he was at that already. But like, again, he's kind of, elevated the floor. He's kind of, risen in that kind of facet already in, 14 games into his rookie season, 15 games into his rookie season. Like he's already shown a level of ball handling and comfortability with the ball. And he's just incredibly malleable. And I think that's something like over his last 7 games, averaging 22.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.1 steals on 49, 39.7, and 91.7 shooting splits. Like that's crazy. That's dang near 50, 40, 90 that he's going.
It is.
Obviously in this 7, it's just a 7-game sample, but like he's been just otherworldly in terms of not only the statistical part of it, but just the overall impact on a game-by-game basis. And again, we've talked about it a little bit on here. Like The Hornets, Jeff Peterson nailed this draft in the sense that he's gotten three guys who have all like produced at an all rookie level in Knipple, Kalkbrenner, and Zion James. And they might have the best crop of rookies just like as a consummate, like just
They
so
may
far,
have.
at least in this early part of the season. And they and now LaMelo Ball wants to be traded. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, let's talk about that another time because right now I could talk about that for a whole segment. LaMelo Ball needing to be traded for Khan's development. But I
but
also wanted to say
it's
this
crazy.
during the event. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like what Khan's doing right now is nuts. I don't think anyone
Absolutely.
expected this, but
Well, during the evaluation period, one of the things I know I identified early was he beats the close pretty well.
yes, he
And I'm
does.
like, let's see how he does against elite competition. Oh, he beat the close again. And
Yeah.
then it's like, let's see how he does in the tournament. He beat the close every single time. And it's translated to the NBA. He just has a knack for using his high level shooting ability to be able to get downhill and get by people, play off 2 feet to make great decisions and not turn the ball over, and to be able to finish down low amongst the trees. He's more athletic than people give him credit for. That's where the Corey Crispert and Joe Harris comments were coming in at. And he is a brick wall. That dude is very, very, very
Yeah.
strong. And that's why he holds up so well defensively, gets to all those loose balls, and it's just really, really impressive what Khan Knipple is doing. And it's very fun to see people on the timeline on Twitter having this epiphany about Khan Knipple compared to what their original expectations were. After I've been screaming it and you've been screaming it for months and months and months and months and months. But so that's our validation for today. Let's talk about some college basketball now. You had some catching up to do on some prospects, and you told me you wanted to run down some of that.
Okay, dude, I'm just gonna tell the viewers right now. I'll be behind all year.
So will
There's
I.
never gonna be a point where I'm gonna be 100% caught up on these games in prospect.
And
That's
there's
just
so many
not.
that it's going to be impossible because there's
Yeah,
so many of
it's
them.
gonna be impossible. So yes, I was behind. I caught up a little bit. I'm still behind. Just very behind,
You know
but
how
I'm a little less
behind he
behind than I
is?
was a few days ago.
He's very behind. But you know how behind I am? I missed an entire show on Tuesday. If you came here on Tuesday looking for the show and it wasn't there, it's my fault because I completely forgot. Work, life, cooking, food, all that. And by the time I looked at the time, I was like, "Holy crap! It's like 7:45." Poor Matt just sitting in this room for 20 minutes. Like, where is he at? Felt so bad. Anyway, Matt has info. He's got thoughts. He's got opinions, and we're gonna break that all down right after this break. Just kidding. We have no sponsors. Matt, go ahead.
So the first game I want to get to, one of two games. Arkansas, Michigan State. I know that
That's a good
happened
one.
like what, a week ago, a week and a half ago
Right.
at the time of this recording. Um, you've been talking a little bit about Acuff. Obviously, we now have not. I'm not even going to say a big sample, but a bigger sample of him playing. This is the only game I've watched of him so far. You've watched more than I have, but here's just some like initial takeaways. I don't know. Again, it's kind of hard for me to rank these prospects in the sense that, like, okay, we know there's a top three with Boozer, with DeBonsa, with Darren Peterson. My mind just went blank for a second. Oh, now you're on mute.
I said I don't even have Boozer in the top three.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the consensus top three, and then there's Cam,
Right, right,
then
right,
then
right.
there's Wilson, there's Koa Pete, and how you feel about it, whatever the case. Um,
Absolutely.
I don't know where I would have Acuff right now. Probably like I don't know. I liked what I saw, but there were some concerns that I had. Just a couple of the things that I did like. He's a downhill slasher. He's a guy who can get downhill. Obviously not super athletic, doesn't have great burst, but he's someone who wants to get downhill. Um, I thought his shot looked good. Like his 3-point shooting, like I want to say he had, I don't have the stats in front of me, but he had, I want to say 3 or 4 3-point attempts. The shot looked good off the catch. Like there wasn't any concern there.
He
He
can
looked
shoot it.
comfortable on the ball, and he was someone who like I kind of like the pace that he played with. I know it's not anything like exceptional or anything like that, but he didn't look sped up. Obviously,
Right.
he's in a hostile environment at Michigan State. I know for a freshman guard that can be somewhat overwhelming. But for him, he played with like pretty good poise. Um, the big thing that I didn't like was defense. I thought he was
Yeah.
like genuinely bad defensively. Um, the thing that there's a couple of things with that. Again, this is just a one game sample for people, so like, I may have caught him on a bad night. We'll see, as the season goes along, as we collect more of these games, more data points, whatnot, how he actually looks and get a good enough eval with that. But in that game, he was, fairly bad defensively. He doesn't have great bend or great hip flexibility. To me, I thought and I think that led to some of his like poor screen navigation. Um, there were just times where he was getting lost off ball. Like he wasn't he was ball watching. He wasn't like locating dudes when they were like cutting or when they were going
Right.
in for the rebound or like boxing out or whatever the case was. And then I just like on the ball, I didn't think he had great processing speed. Like I thought he was just a step too slow.
Yeah.
And so those were some of the concerns that I had with him in that game. But like I think he's an okay play. Like I think he's like a solid playmaker.
Right.
Not like a pass first floor general type playmaker, but I think he could be like a solid playmaker at the next level. I think he could be
Especially with more space.
yeah, I think he could be a decent multi-level scorer. Like I think his shot will be a question probably throughout most of the season because I don't think he's like a natural 3-point shooter. Like I don't think that's something that he
Darius Acuff?
specializes in. But um
You're talking about Acuff?
yeah.
Oh, because I think he's a phenomenal shooter, actually.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I think but I want to see more of it.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I
But
was
I
gonna
think
say
he'll
I
be
think
like
he's got a good shot.
a solid multi-level scorer. I think he's to me just based on if memory serves, because again, this is my first time watching him. A little below the rim finisher. Like he's
Oh, for
not
sure. For sure.
like he what didn't have a lot of vertical athleticism and like what he's 6'3", 185, 190, whatever it is. So like that's going to be a question. Like how does that consistently? And that was kind of the case with Boogie last year. Like, remember we were talking about Boogie in Arkansas. I
Right.
know it's different player, different kinds of player, but
Different
like,
body type as well. Like because Acuff is built like a tank. Like
yeah,
he's
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 much
built like
stronger.
I'm not comparing these two players, but he's built like Isaiah Collier. Like he's broad
Yeah,
shoulders, like strong muscle
yeah.
dude. Um,
Um,
go ahead.
yeah, like, and again, that's where I think like he'll be like at worst a good just downhill kind of force. Like I think he plays with enough physicality, at least from the one game that I did see. Again, it's just a one game sample. Another guy that I liked in that game, not that I think he's going to be like some overwhelmingly great player, but he had a good game was Cohen Carr.
Yeah.
He's just a freak athlete. Like he's just an
Cam Carr
unbelievable. Like I
from
don't
Michigan
know.
State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a freak. Like I don't know. He looks like he's built like a linebacker, but he has like a 45-inch vert. Like I don't
Right.
understand. I
It
don't
doesn't make
understand it.
any
I don't know
sense.
how much of like an NBA player he actually is right now,
Right.
but he is just a freak, phenomenal athlete that I think could maybe benefit. Like to me, he's probably someone who is like a two-way player.
Right.
At the next, not a two-way player like playing both sides, but like a two-way player like playing on a two-way contract at the
Right. A
next level.
two-way contract player. There it is.
Yeah. I should have specified that. But to me, that's kind of where I see him. If I were to make like any like prediction, I didn't lock in on Malik Thomas. I wish I would have done that for the
Right.
viewers, so I don't have any like Malik
Do you
Thomas
remember him shooting
thoughts.
threes at all?
Dude, I was
Okay.
watching this at like 1 a.m., so I
No,
don't.
no worries. Oh, you have a hard out today, don't you? Magic play.
Well, I mean, we know how the NBA works with
Yeah, yeah.
games.
So we got like 15 minutes at most left. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Well, let me just touch real quick on Acuff because I agree. There a lot of what you said, and this is funny how this works because me and Matt don't really converse about what we're watching as we're watching it, and so it's really funny because my initial thought was he gives me Cam Whitmore vibes, Darius Acuff. not their games. I'm not comparing the two players in their game.
I was gonna say, like, wait.
No, but the lack of concentration by Acuff is what bothers me. Sometimes it feels like he just drifts and he loses focus throughout the game. And that really shows up defensively off ball. Like he'll just drift and gets lost navigating traffic.
Yeah.
That's a concentration issue. It's not a skill issue. It's not like he doesn't have the feet to do it. I don't even think his hip flexibility is terrible. I just think it's a lack of concentration. And so when you see him go to navigate a screen, the screen happens and he's like, oh, there's a screen. And then he turns to go.
Well, that and like, I just don't think he's built in a way, like, I'm trying to find a way to say, he's built in a way that like he can't get skinny.
No, he can't.
Around the screen. So it's like, that's where I have worries. Like I don't think he has the lateral foot speed to do it, but like he just can't get skinny.
He just
so it's
can't
like
skinny for sure.
Yeah, that's not. He's strong, but
Very
I don't
strong,
think that. So like he has that going for him to a certain degree.
Right.
Because you need that to be somewhat of an effective screen navigator, especially at the next level when you're getting, screened by like Steven Adams or something. Like
Steven Adams.
You know what I mean? Like
you picked the biggest, strongest guy in the league.
But like I don't know. I worried about his defense because I was just like
It's not great. They try to hide him, but just Michigan State is such an old school system. You can't hide against Michigan State. They will put you in screen and roll after screen and roll, run you off of curls and all that crap. It's impossible to hide if you have a defensive deficiency against Michigan State. But the other thing I wanted to mention to you, it stood out to me also. He's a very good ball handler. Very good ball handler.
He is.
But even with those handles, he can't get by many people on his own. Like, that's the worrying part. And that goes back to you saying he doesn't have elite athletic pop.
No.
Which is very confusing for how well put together he is. He doesn't really have that athletic pop, which is concerning. But overall, I think because he's such a good shooter, in my opinion, I think as he gets more experience, I want to see how he grows to be able to use that 3-point shooting to be able to beat the closeouts. If that makes sense. Very much like Con Knipple, which Con does naturally, Acuff does not do naturally, which is use his 3-point effectiveness to beat closeouts. Another thing he does, which is really odd, and I've seen it before, and I can't remember what player does it, but he runs to space. When he dribbles, he runs to the first open spot, and instead of continuing for layups, he pulls up for middies all the time. And it's kind of worrisome because he'll have a wide open lane because he's beat his man with his great ball handling, but he just runs to the open spot and then shoots a midi. And I'm like, just go to rack. But those are some concerns I have too, and a lot of it lines up to what you saw. Is there another player you wanted to talk about today other than Carr and Acuff?
I know you haven't watched him, so I will. That's a first. I'm me watching someone before you. Don't expect that many times.
I'm slacking, man.
Throughout the year. But Houston Auburn, I want to focus on Kingston Fleming. He's on the
promo. He's on the promo. Since you never sent me a headshot, he took your place.
Well deserved after his start to the season.
That's right, well deserved.
He has a phenomenal blend of speed and shooting and strength.
Yeah.
Like, dude is quick as crap, but he's also, the shot kind of looks weird.
Yeah.
But it also kind of looks good at the same time, like coming off the hand.
Mm-hmm.
He was outstanding. I don't remember what exactly he finished with. I think it was like 22, 9, and 7 or something like that. Sorry to spoil the stat line for you.
No,
against Auburn, but just to give
I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it's all over the timeline.
But he was incredible in that game. The thing with him though is like he was good finishing around the rim. Like there was a couple of times early in the game where he was able to get like the mismatches and he was able to blow by, the bigger defenders and be like a mismatch problem in that way and get to the rim and finish with good touch. But when he pulled up on a dime, like he would leverage his speed into his shooting, and like there was multiple times where he would pull up on a dime, in the mid range at the elbow area, and he was so incredibly on balance. It looked great, like just the body, the coordination. Um, I thought he did a pretty good job, like making reads too as a playmaker when he was able to get downhill. He played within the
Mhm.
flow of the offense. I think he was a little too passive to start that second half, but like there were multiple times late in that game where Auburn did cut it to two, and he was just
Right.
like, "No, give me the ball, and I'm going to make something happen." And he did make something happen. Um, and, like, the thing with him is, like, he also used, like, his his strength, like, he used his body and he used his strength to shield off defenders and create separation, and that was something that, like, stood out to me, and he did that a couple of times against Pettiford too, and we've talked about Pettiford and how much we like Pettiford. I thought he outplayed Pettiford, although Pettiford did get him a couple of times, just because of how quick he is. Like, there were a couple
Pettiford's
blow
having a
bys on the
down year
defensive end.
too.
Like, he wasn't great defensively, but, like, he was
Right.
okay. Like, it
Right.
wasn't, like, bad, but it wasn't, like, anything, like, crazy outstanding. I think he's gonna need to be a little bit more physical at the point of attack.
Yeah.
But just in general, how good he was offensively, like, this is gonna be the kind of guy that they're gonna give him he's the one guy on their team, like, no offense to Uzan, no offense to whoever's on there. He's gonna be the guy when you need a bucket or you need a play, you're gonna give the ball to him and he's gonna make something happen. Like, I
Right.
think that's the trust that he's gonna have, or that really that he has right now. And I think that's gonna be the trust that they have in him as the season goes on. So I'm interested to see how we adjust to that. And like as a freshman, when you are that number one guy, like
Right.
role allocation is gonna be a thing. You might pop in the beginning of the season, but once teams start putting their best defenders on you, how are you gonna react to that? And that's something that I'm very
Absolutely.
interested to see how he, adjusts to, like, once Big 12 play starts and because he's their best offensive player by a country mile. Like, how is that gonna how is that gonna affect him and how he plays and how he impacts the game?
Right.
Um, but I'm very confident in his ability to, like, break defenses down right now. Like, he's so quick and, like, he's strong too. Like, he has I don't wanna say an NBA ready body, but, like, he's a strong dude.
Well,
And
you know how much I love point guard play. So,
yeah,
and I do want to see him play. I have not seen it yet.
I think he's more of a combo guard if I would.
Is he a combo guard?
I mean, he made
He
some
looks
good
incredibly
passes,
skinny.
but I think he's more of a combo guard than an actual point guard, but I just think that's,
How tall do you think he really is? Not what
um,
he's listed at in college. How tall do you think he really
6'4".
is? Really? Okay. So he's tall and skinny. He's like lanky, basically.
I don't think he's skinny.
He looks skinny. I haven't seen the game, so I can't really tell.
He
I've seen pictures, and he looks skinny in the pictures, is what I'm saying.
I'm making sure. I thought he looked like wasn't, like, overly strong, but it wasn't, like, super skinny. Okay, yeah, some of these pictures from, like, high school. Like, what are we talking about here?
He
Like,
looks incredibly skinny, dude. He looks incredibly skinny. But anyway, you know what's very interesting? On December 20th, he plays Arkansas against Mikey Brown Jr. I'm very interested in
Arkansas.
that game. Yeah. Houston Cougars play
You mean
Arkansas.
Acuff?
Oh, sorry. Against Acuff. Yes. Sorry.
I was like, Mikey, that's Louisville.
No, that's Louisville. But so he plays Arkansas on December 20th against Darius Acuff. They're not going to guard each other because they try to hide Acuff. But I'm very
They're
interested.
going to guard each other.
I don't think so.
They're going to.
I don't think so. I've seen them. Here's what they do. They
They're going to
put
hunt the
him in the
mismatch.
corner. They put him in the there you go. They may hunt the mismatch, but the way they try to hide Acuff is somebody else takes the wing, and whatever person's in the corner, that's who Acuff guards. He doesn't guard one person. He just guards who's in the corner.
Yep.
And they try to hide him that way. And so I'm going to be very interested in that game. Hopefully he gets matched up against Fleming a few times. I'm trying to think of another good test defensively on the schedule. Texas Tech, they play a good defensive brand of basketball.
Yeah.
They play them in January. Baylor against Tonda Yesufu. Really, we're going to have to
once
wait.
Big 12 play starts, they're playing all those teams.
Yeah, and then they play freaking Arizona and Kansas. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's what I'm waiting for. But I will try to, get my eyes on him before then. For sure. Anyone else, Matt, that you want to talk about today?
I would probably put him above Acuff right now.
Wow, that's high praise. I like it.
One game. Don't
I
come at my
like it.
head, people.
They're coming for you, man, in the comments right now.
I also
Tell
thought
Matt how you
Pettiford played his
feel.
best game of the season. If I just want to shout out Todd. I thought he played his best game of the season. I know I didn't watch any of his games against like the worst competition, but like
It's
he
been
wasn't.
bad.
Yeah, like I knew it wasn't up to par, but like he played his
Yeah.
best game of the season in this game. But I do think that he was outplayed.
Really quick, what do you think Acuff's numbers are on the season?
Ooh, I actually did look at this recently, so I want to
Okay,
say
you
it
got a
was
little
like
inside knowledge.
19 and 5 assists.
Yeah, it's like 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and this is with that bad game he had the other day thrown in there. Because he had a bad
Well,
game
I
the
mean,
other
again,
day.
like he's a good player. It's just there's some
He
things that he
is.
needs to clean up.
I'm interested in this Fleming kid if you're saying he's better than Acuff. Because I think Acuff and Mikey Brown Jr. are phenomenal.
What's Fleming's
players.
Numbers?
I haven't looked those up. For some reason, Tankathon doesn't even have him listed, which is weird.
Because Tankathon's behind. No, oh, that's the wrong Fleming.
I mean, that's what happened to me. I was like, wait, that's not him.
I was looking up Howard Fleming because of UNLV. Did that by accident. It's my Mountain West bias thing.
I was going to say that's Mountain West bias.
17.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists.
I like it, dude. I got to get my eyes on that kid.
69% shooting, 40% from 3, 85 from the free throw line.
I mean, that's pretty absurd.
6'4", 190.
I don't think he's 6'4". And I also don't think he's 190. But then again, we'll find out at the combine.
Here's the last thing I want to close with. If you're playing 30 minutes a game as a freshman for Kelvin Sampson,
of
all coaches,
Kelvin. Yeah,
that I'm just gonna trust that you're a good player.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
This is the first time in how long that Houston had the number 2 ranked recruiting class in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even get to Senak, who I thought actually played pretty well too. He had a couple of threes. I didn't lock in too much on him. I know he had some motor concerns coming out of high school. But he played, I thought, like relatively well.
Yeah.
I was mostly locked in on Fleming though, just because of like all the hype and whatnot.
For sure.
And we'll have obviously the entire season to get a better evaluation of Senak. But absolutely, if you have 2 freshmen, but like if you're getting 30 minutes a night, you're playing 75% of the game with Kelvin Sampson as your head coach, like
he will pull you off the floor if you're making mistakes. Like, yeah,
like, I'm just gonna trust you're good. And like again, I mentioned before that I thought he was like okay defensively. Well, guess who's the perfect head coach to actually get that out of you? It's Kelvin Sampson.
Yep.
So it's like I just trust that he's gonna be like a good player.
We're going to play a lightning round game
throughout the season
to end this. We're going to play a lightning round game to end this because you only got 2 minutes. These 5 players, I need you to rank them right now. Mikey Brown, which is Mikkel Brown. I just call him Mikey, guys. Chill out. Bennett Sturtz, Darius Acuff, LeBaron Philon, Fleming.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go Brown 1.
Okay.
I think he's, just from what I've briefly seen from him, I think he's still the clear 1.
Dude, he's so good.
In terms of NBA potential, I would probably go. So as of just right now, very quick off the dot, I'm going to go Fleming 2, Philon 3, Sturtz 4, Acuff 5.
Wow, Acuff all the way at 5.
I mean, dude, that's so close with like.
It is very tough. It's a tough question.
I might flip.
Shout out Alex Toledo.
Sturtz is like
25,
22 or whatever.
Yeah, he's 22.
He's so good though. Like he's unbelievable.
He's very, very good.
But like it's the.
I'll give you mine real quick. I got Mikkel Brown.
He's probably the best old guy in this draft.
Better than Yaxel?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of Yaxel. Everybody keeps. I'm not a big fan of Yaxel. It took a lot of convincing last year to come around on him, and I'm still not convinced.
This start to the year hasn't really inspired anything. So
No, especially since it's a step up and play.
yeah.
Anyway, Mikey Brown, LeBaron Philon, Fleming, Acuff Sturts. That's my order.
I'm gonna go Darius Acuff one. No. I have watched. I haven't locked in a ton, but I did watch the first half of Alabama Purdue
Uh-huh.
live, and obviously we watched Philon a bunch last year.
He's so much better this year. He's
and I also
really
did watch
good.
the first half of he and against St. John's. I forgot about that. I mean Braden Smith did get him, but
What do you mean offensively?
well, he just outplayed him.
Yeah, I mean it's Braden Smith. He's a phenomenal college basketball player.
Well, yeah, but like
the system's built.
Braden Smith
That whole
him,
offense, that whole system is Braden Smith. Like they're like, we're running every action for Braden Smith. It's what they do.
Yeah. Braden Smith just outplayed him. I don't think just from what I can remember seeing, I don't think Philon had like the best game against Purdue.
Yeah.
But him against St. John's was good. It's kind of hard because like they played a million miles an hour, and like obviously that's closer to NBA pace than every other college team because that's just what NATO does. But like, I don't know.
You're not a fan of Philon, is what you're saying. Say
no, I do like Philon.
No worries. But that's it for us today, guys. Matt has other obligations. Matt, tell the people where they can find you, follow, and get more of your work.
You could find me at NPH_824_ on Twitter. You could find me at hotonhoops.com, mountainwestconnection.com, vendettasportsmedia.com, as well as Orlando Magic on SI. You could find me on playback.tv/5RSN, where we watch the Miami Heat play. They've been fun this season, 9-6. They've been a pleasant surprise. They got 9 wins in the most difficult part of their schedule. It's always a good sign. But then now we're going to see them play clutch games against the Brooklyn Nets. And you can also find me on playback.tv/digital Adel Hoops.
Where we're at right now, make sure you follow his work on SI, Sports Illustrated's website. We promote that on Twitter. You'll see me retweet it all the time. I'm Digital Adel. You can find me on Twitter, any social media platform under Digital Adel, Instagram, which we're growing rapidly, Digital_Adel on Instagram. And that's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time.